at 20 past 2. Our session is now currently being recorded. To all of the participants and especially to Dr. Yaping Gao, welcome to this workshop today. Yaping will be chatting to us a bit about quality matters and establishing social, cognitive and teaching presence. So we have at least for almost an hour up until 3:15 for the workshop. Thanks so much, Yaping. Off you go.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Eugenia, and thank you to the FODE team for giving me this opportunity again. Every year, I actually have been part of this wonderful event and always looking forward to this. So thank you for joining me. And the things, this is supposed to be a workshop. So during my presentation, I would be asking your engagement and participation via the chat. So if I pose a quick question, and if you can just respond in the chat, that would be really appreciated. So off we go. Let me think here. So my name is Yaping Gao, and I serve as a VP Member Services and Partnerships in the USA, an entity called Quality Matters. It's a nonprofit organization. We support the education community from K to 20 and mostly higher education, but we do support K to 20. Online education and distance education, e-learning, digital learning, etc. So we have standards, rubrics, etc. So today I'm going to use this opportunity before we go straight to the establishing presence. That's the main topic. I do want to take a moment for us to just take a quick tour where we are as in the education field, and with so much things going on, I mean, especially the AI in education. Due to the big time difference, I was only able to catch a few minutes in the currently ongoing workshop, the other one talking about using AI to do research, etc. Yeah, there's so much has been talked about over this past just about a year or so about AI, and this session I want to focus on back to the basics. How do you ensure quality? And if most of us are faculty in our faculty role, what does it mean to all of this? So if you can at this moment pick one of your main roles, because I know that every one of us has more than one roles at our institution. So just pick the most important role that you have at your institution. If you are a dean, if you are an administrator, or if you are a faculty, or if you are an instructional designer, just give me something in the chat so I know who I hear. Okay. So I'll just give you instructional designer, Hendria. Thank you. Wonderful. And online education manager. Yeah, I know Eugenie. And just give me a couple so I know how the audience is representative. Oh, learning designer, senior learning designer. Thank you, Natasha. By the way, my own personal background is instructional design. So a learning specialist, wonderful, e-learning specialist. So, okay, so we don't have a lot of, well, I'm sure that a lot of you also teach part-time, right, as adjunct, so learning design, okay, intern, okay, so mostly, oh, instructional design is wonderful. I'm talking to my colleagues here because my background is instructional design, and it's been, oh gosh, over 20 years. I can tell you a joke. I mean, think about right now is a joke. I got my first job as an instructional designer in a small private Catholic institution in Cincinnati, Ohio, the state of Ohio in the USA. And that's over 20 years ago, and the faculty did not know what instructional designer does. So they were telling each other, oh, that Chinese lady, you can go to her and she can make you very pretty icons for your online courses. That was my job, making pretty icons. And thankfully those days are gone. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, instructor design. Oh, wonderful. Director. Yeah. So anyway, so we will take a look at a group about the landscape of where we are as an education community. We're all doing a bunch of things, online, hybrid, digital learning, now AI, etc. And then we'll zoom in on, how the faculty role have changed and what's the importance of instructional design, etc. Because everything that we're going to focus on is establish a presence. That's part of the course design, learning design, instructional design, however, whatever word that you use for your title. The key thing is you design the course in such a way that is student-centered. It helps them with their learning. So anyway, okay, so let's go for it. We all know we are facing challenges, but there's also opportunities. And, so we have this AI ChatGPT ongoing for, especially ChatGPT, right? Because the biggest fear is cheating. So, well, I was curious and I thought, well, what about we use AI to generate some images? So these are the images I did myself. So it's, it's pretty basic, but to the point, right? Okay, so here's another question that, oh, there's a student advisor as well. Professor Linda was horrified. Well, that was 20 years ago, Linda. So, okay, so if you look at this screen, this is what I borrowed from ENGIE-Course. They have this digital transformation report, and I thought this screen is kind of gave us very quick overview of where we institutions are at. So we are all going through digital transformation. Whether you use the term or not, we all are, okay? Even if you don't have the title of, Chief Officer of Digital Transformation, you are part of this. So there's digitization, digitalization, and a truly digital transformation. The pandemic forced everyone to go straight into digitalization, right? Everything on paper, pen, now become some form of electronic. So that's 1 and 2. And then now come to this, you have to reorganize your work process. You have to perhaps even, restructure your workforce, your team members' responsibility, et cetera, et cetera. So at this point, my question to you is, based on your understanding, based on your role, your work, where do you see your institution is at right now? And in case you don't have that bigger institutional view, share where do you see your unit, your department is. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Where do you see yourself in this pathway or spectrum of digital transformation? I will give you a second. Second, good. So you have digitized pretty much everything. Now you need to organize information. Woohoo, Dr. Eugenie. Yeah, one department at a time. Very good. Yes, you always have some early adopters, right? So they go first, and then the rest of the institution will see, oh, that's working. We want that too, right? So wonderful. 4. I'm so impressed. Wonderful. So we have 2. We have to reach 5. Wonderful. Absolutely. Wonderful. I'm so happy. 3. There we go. See, so that means everybody has passed the initial phase, which is digitize everything, right? We have done that because we have 3 years of pandemic, stay at home. We have to do that. So now we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, we have 5. How wonderful is that? Thank you so much for sharing. Wow. Very promising. I'm so inspired already. Okay. And I share this not to kind of overwhelming you, but I do want to, give the sense of the technology is here. Okay, so this is just one screen, and if you look at the years of 2021, it's not even 2022 or 2023, according to Holland IQ, and that's a research company firm, and they put together a landscape of all the education technologies and put them into categories or fields or in areas. How do you support teacher and learning? Okay, so don't worry, I will not go into detail. We will not. Okay, so the technology is here. Whatever you need to do, there is a piece of technology out there. Okay. Now let's look at over this past few pandemic years. Again, this is again from ENGICORS. That's a U.S.-based organization. It's a nonprofit. They are mostly focused on education technology. Even though they are U.S.-based, they are pretty international, really, because all the intake, the surveys are done internationally as well. So each year they produce a teaching and learning edition Horizon report. And I'm combining 2021, 2022, 2023 years all together. And these are the key technologies and the practices already happening. It's not a prediction, but it's already happening in these 3 years. If you notice on the very top, consistently AI, okay? Now, ChatGPT became a big deal is because it just directly impacts education, especially higher education, right? Writing, research, etc. But we live in the AI-enabled society anyway. Our cars, our refrigerators, we can lock our door on our phone. All of this are various kind of AIs. Okay, so we are not strangers to AIs anymore. The second is hybrid. And we are doing this. Whether you're a student, staff, faculties, you are doing something, you are teaching and learning hybrid way. And that's the way it's going to go. And this year, 2023, the sense of belonging, students have this more strong sense of belonging because the pandemic have separated us for long enough. Now they want to really become a true sense of a community. So when we're doing instructional design, when we're designing, group project, teamwork, etc., bear that in mind. At the back of your mind, you want to say, yeah, students need to do independent work. They need to show individually how they are achieving the learning outcomes, but always, always find ways to connect peers. Because that's what they want. That's what they design. They're in the college, they're in the university, right? Even though they're not meeting every day face to face, they still want that sense of connection. And then, of course, quality. With all these noises, all these technologies, and then what are the basics of quality? How do you even begin to evaluate all those new technologies? Just because technology is here, you are using technology, does not necessarily translate that into student success, because the bottom line is the student success. And in order to do that, you want to ensure the quality and all the other things, right? Micro-credential, learning analytics, and all of this, we have been doing. And last but not least, the faculty. They still need the support. Even though the past 3 years as instructional designers, I want to give all of you who are here, you are either leading the team or you are actually doing the instructional design support work. I want to give you a big hands, a big applause. You have contributed so much over the past few years. And your role is not going to diminish. diminish. It's only going to increase more and more. So just when we talk about ChatGPT, faculty need the support. A lot of them are against it simply because they do not know. They're intimidated. They feel uncomfortable. Any change is uncomfortable. But we have come so far from the pandemic. We survived, and I'm a person of, positive. I look everything as in a positive way. So we can do this, but faculty do need your support, and the support is continuous. So ChatGPT, we all know, so I'm going to skip that. And this is just a quick reference to the UNESCO quick start guide for how to use ChatGPT. I see Gaza has strong face. Can you try to explain how are you feeling about what? Okay. Now, yeah, here is another screen from that ChatGPT quick stand on how to use ChatGPT for research. I also have something that I came across on LinkedIn. They posted, how to use ChatGPT. But since this is not our focus, I'm going to skip those. I do want to share this screen again from ENGIE-Course, another report on students. And we can look at these two color bars. Okay, so the red bar is 2020, almost at the end of a pandemic. And this other aqua color bar, that bar is 2020, okay, just before the pandemic official date. And if you look at that face-to-face, this survey is for students. What students want, online, hybrid, face-to-face. You can see post the pandemic, 2 years after the pandemic, less people want complete face-to-face, less students. Same with mainly face-to-face, before pandemic, post-pandemic, okay? And about half one, online, half face-to-face, about the same, but still it's shrinking. Look at the bottom two, these two. Pre-pandemic, only 4% want mostly online. Post-pandemic, 9%. Look at this surprising and shocking increase, really dramatic increase, I should say, from 5% complete online to 2022, that was last year. 20% they want completely online. Okay, so at your university, Pretoria University, you are doing all the online hybrid format. You are doing the right thing to meet all the students' demand. How do you feel? This is my third question. In your role, do you feel that what you are doing is meeting students' demand as far as those formatting are concerned, the online or hybrid or face-to-face? Or do you feel students want more online, hybrid, but you just, trying to catch up, trying to invest more to meet their demands? Where do you see? Or you see you are pretty balanced right now? We offer this kind of format and students are happy about it. They want a more face-to-face, of course. Yes, in the client answer. Okay, great, thanks. So it depends on, what subject, what discipline, right? If you are in science, engineering, nursing, for example, of course, you want them to practice in person, or the lab settings, etc. Yeah. So, okay, continue to share if you feel like it. So since we are talking about the format, right? So we all know about this. On the right side, depend on what kind of project, what kind of nature of your learning activity. And to the right side, again, the format, how do you want to deliver the content, what kind of project you want the students to do, and then everything else is in between. So which means certain activities, learning outcomes is better face-to-face, and certain is more suitable for online. You can do very easily, and there are certain things that you can do hybrid way. So my prediction is that the one in the middle, the hybrid one, is going to expand moving forward in the future, because in the future, you say online education, you say face-to-face, it's all teaching and learning in the digital environment. You use the best pedagogy, you use the most user-friendly technology, low threshold and not too challenging, those kind of technology to achieve the same outcome, students' learning outcome. Okay, I'm keeping an eye on my time, so 20 minutes into it. Okay, I think we're still good. Okay, so the next few minutes, I try to go quickly, is I'm happy to have a few minutes to introduce what my organization, Quality Matter, has been doing over the past 20 years. We have been supporting the global education community for 20 years so far. This year is actually our 20th anniversary. So we are all about, QME is all about academic quality assurance. It's very centered on students' learning and focused on quality and focused on faculty. So here's you're in South Africa here, and these are the countries where QM have member institutions. So we are very proud that Pretoria University is one of the very first member institutions, not only in South Africa, but in the entire African continent. Very proud. And here's some photos that I go to engage with the community and the presentations and etc. So it's part of the job that I enjoy the most. And my boss, Dr. Bedell, is the QM CEO, but she's also the president of INQUAHI. And if any of you are in the quality assurance area, if you are the expert, if you're the manager, if you are the director of quality assurance, you should know INQUAHI. That's the biggest umbrella network internationally for quality assurance for higher education. And I have been involved in the international ICDE for the past few years. So Quality Matters is all about research standards. We provide the faculty, staff, instructional designers for ID, and we do course review, program review for certification to recognize the quality that you put into your programs and courses. So our main purpose is to ensure student success and help the institution advance and achieve their goals, strategic goals, and institution accreditation, etc., etc. And just one example, you probably have already know because you are a member, and Dr. Eugenie has been leading the QM implementation, so I'm sure that you all know this. This is the Higher Education Rubric Standards, 8 General Standards. And some of the PD, professional development, we provide you as instruction designers or as a faculty, you can earn this role. So you can be a peer review, master reviewer, you can do your own workshop as an online facilitator. And the TOC is become so much more popular, the Teaching Online Certificate. It is how to be. I'm trying to. They want more. How to engage in online, not interactive. Yes, absolutely. Less level. So yes, our US partners want what they have in campus and how to be viewed in front of them. Still making it. Yes, absolutely. I totally agree, Natasha. We'll get into that. Okay. In the second half hour, we'll get into that. So the peer review process for courses as well as for programs. And these are the 2 levels of certification. QM certify your courses and also certify your programs. Anybody have any questions on any of these, you can email me after the conference. Okay, so I have probably shared this pyramid in the previous year FODS event, but I want to share again, a very simple concept. You are an instructional designer. You are the manager of your online program. You are the director of quality assurance. So everybody is working at different levels, but we are all supporting the institutional goal, and that is so important. Okay, so at course level, if you are instruction designer or if you're also teaching part-time, half-time, whatever, you pay attention to the learning objectives and assessment, how they are aligned. That is the foundation of any courses. I don't care if you teach English, engineering, or computer science, the same thing, right? And then how you're going to build your course. Everything needs to be aligned. You have all the technologies, you have all the learning activities. Everything needs to support each other, right? So that's the principle of alignment. And most important of all is focus on students, focus on how you help them to achieve learning outcomes. If you are a dean, if you are working at a higher level than at the course level, you want to pay attention to the alignment between different levels, starting from the lesson unit to course level to program level and to the entire institutional outcome. When the students graduate from your university, what do they achieve? What should they have achieved? And you want to provide all the resource for faculty and students. And of course, one of the key metric for the institutional success is student success, completion rate, graduation rate, et cetera, et cetera. So all of this is aligned, need to be aligned and support each other. Again, so here is the pyramid: course level, program level, and institutional level. If you talk to a president, the number one goal in his or her mind is the institutional accreditation, student success, graduation rate, right, etc. So we all work together. We all support each other. Even if you think your role is very low, very small, but you are still supporting the institution. And the positive impact for quality assurance, of course, on the student side, you improve student success, completion rate, retention, and at the institutional level, you build a culture of quality. So faculty roles have changed. Okay, can somebody share in the chat, even if you are not a faculty, if you are only supporting faculty, you're not teaching. If you are teaching, share with me what has changed since pre-pandemic to where you are right now. If you are an instructional designer, you don't necessarily teach courses yourself. In what area or aspect do you feel faculty's roles have changed? Meaning, pre-pandemic, how do they want you to support them? But now, what areas do they feel that they need your support more? So just anything relating to faculty's role. If you can share just a couple, that would be great. Give everybody a second. And
it's me yapping, Eugenie.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, it's difficult to type, but I think what I found interesting is it's as if the things that we or lecturers or facilitators or academia were meant to do previously is just more in the spotlight now. So whichever response I think of, let's say I want to say we need to facilitate now, and then you realize, but that's what we should have been doing all along. Or if you want to say assessments need to be authentic and relate to real world competencies, then you realize, oh, but that's what it should have been all this time. So
exactly.
I don't know how to type my response, but that's what I think.
Well, you are right on the spot, Eugenie. Thank you for sharing. Yes, exactly. I totally agree. And I see a note from Andrea, faculty does not does not only teach and say they must curate content, understand technology, design, assessment, etc., etc. Yes, faculty's roles have been evolving. Yes, absolutely. We all wear different hats. Even though a faculty say I'm a full-time teaching faculty, but his or her role has been evolving. From the sage on the stage to somebody on the side to facilitate the student learning, right? Yeah. And I also have Natasha think of what I said above. We have a lot of resistance from faculty importing content. They want to understand how we can use online tools to still build authentic learning. Absolutely. Not lose connection with the learner. Think of faculty afraid of losing their job as well. I can promise you, Natasha, no faculties are going to, faculty are not going to lose their role, but their role needs to be changing because we are all learning. No matter, I don't know what job you do, what kind of title you have, we are all learning new things every day, right? I mean, think about the iPhone that we have, right? 10 years ago, 20 years ago, we did not know anything, but now our life depends on this. And we learn a new app every day and we feel confident about it. Yes, absolutely. So there's a balance. Faculty is needed even more because we need to teach our students not memorizing numbers and facts, but we need to teach them active learning, how to function in this AI supported enhanced society. We need them to have critical thinking. Okay, ChatGPT spelled out every answer that you are asking for, but are these answers correct? Are they factually accurate? Right? You need to confirm that. So these are the new skills that our students need to pick. And in order to teach our students, our faculty need to learn ourselves because 20 years ago, again, we did not have those kind of things, right? So yes, thank you for sharing, Andrea, Natasha, and Eugenie. Okay, so let's move on. So their role have changed, right? From content expert, now they need to engage the students, they need to be facilitator, and they need to, help the department achieve their goals and contributing to the institutional advance. And I mentioned, most important of all, they need to serve as a model for students as a lifelong learning. And that is so important. That is so important. We are all learning this together. Okay, now I am going to refer back to what Natasha has shared, not only just interaction, but actually how to engage. That's two different things, right? We have been neglecting essential skills such as care, respect, absolutely, for so long. Yeah, yeah. Content is there are certain things that you really have to pay attention because there's so much things going on. We're so busy, everybody. And these are the softer skills. And I've been reading some recent reports that employers, actually pay more attention when they are interviewing a candidate for the job. They're paying more attention to the people's softer skills instead of the content area. The content area, as long as you have the background, you are going to keep learning every day because new knowledge comes out every day, right? But the softer skill is something that's part of you. You cannot pick up those softer skills in one day or in, 10 days, etc. So absolutely. Care, respect, self-management, time management, communication skills, interpersonal skills, all of this. So engage students into action. We all know there's different levels of interaction, from interaction among students, interaction between the students and content. Traditionally, the old way of teaching is just assign activities, homeworks for students. Students interact with the content and mostly trying to memorize and trying to do all of those homeworks to practice, right? So that learner to content, but things have changed now. The content are presented in such a way that they're interactive also. And the skills that you want to pay more attention that students need to master those skills are not memorization and anymore. As we are instructional designers, we all know the taxonomy of learning, right? Memorization, all the way to creation, etc. We need to focus more on the higher level, the critical thinking skills, cognitive thinking skills, and learner to instructor. As we shared, faculty need to be a facilitator of learning. I have a little cough, so that's why my apologies. So from interaction, we build the interaction into our assignment learning activities. But as a faculty, as instructional designers, when you build your course, you want to take the presence into major consideration. And so here's the type of presence: social presence, cognitive presence, teaching presence. Everything needs to be in the online course or a hybrid course or even face-to-face. It doesn't matter. It's just the way you deliver, you establish is different, but these components are the same. They are cross modality. Yes, Otto said critical thinking skill, absolutely. Even, especially in this AI enhanced society, we need to be able to question what is true and what is not true and what is totally false. So social presence just basically means, again, it doesn't matter if it's a face-to-face, hybrid, or face-to-face or online. Social presence just means you create opportunities so that students in your class, in one class or in one program, feel that they are peers in this learning community. They are emotionally, socially connected with each other. That's what social presence means. Cognitive presence, we know that one, right? That means you are providing opportunities for students to engage with the content so that they master the skills and knowledges, etc., according to the stated learning outcomes or objectives in your course or in your program. And that is absolutely true. It doesn't matter it's face-to-face or online, right? It's the same thing, everything in between. Teaching presence. Teaching presence in the face-to-face, you go to classroom to teach every day, every other day, right? You have this face-to-face direct interaction with your students. How about after class? How do you interact with them? How do you invite them to come to your office to ask questions? And in the online environment, it's crucial that you make students feel that even though you're not seeing them on the screen every day, you are there. You are monitoring their progress, and you are there to help. You're just one email away, one chat away. So that's called the teaching presence. A lot of faculty teaching master courses, right? Your institution, your department already have designed a master courses, and then when you get to teach, they make a copy for you, and then you teach. Even if in those cases, you as an instructor, as a faculty, you can still do your self-introduction, your announcement. You can find ways to make this master course your instance of the course. You can still make students feel, you can do a little video introduction, audios, and give feedback and encourage students. All of this are teaching presence. This is your course. You and your students are in the same learning environment. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to ask the next question is, whatever your role is, faculty, manager, instructional designer, technologist, and it doesn't matter what format, face-to-face, hybrid, online, where do you see, in what this area, this social presence, cognitive presence, teaching presence. Which of these three areas do you feel there are room for improvement, or faculty need more support? Or if you are instructional designers, you need more resources in order to make this happen, in order to truly improve, design your course in such a way that will help students achieve their students. Okay, so yeah, just give me a couple. Social presence, cognitive presence, teaching presence. Just give you a second if you guys are typing. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything here, but I will move on. Oh, there we go. All three, I think. Oh, wow. Yes. So you are all, I'm sure that all of you are doing all of this already, right? Social cognitive student presence. But at the same time, you also feel like there's more that we can do to engage the students. So I'm a learner design and academic at tech companies. Social presence is definitely a big weakness. Okay, we have introduced collaborative features on the part, but we have found that instructors struggle with connecting to students. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. The social presence, earlier, if you remember, in one of my slides, I mentioned that starting from 2023, students feel they need a stronger sense of belongings. So that's where the social presence is. It doesn't matter if it's a single course or the students are in a cohort or they are in the same program. There are ways that you can use to really make that as a learning community. So students trust each other, their peers, there are technologies, everywhere right now. You can actually set up virtual cafeteria or, students lounge. So they pop in, ask each other questions, etc. It doesn't matter if it's a face-to-face or just open up your mind and think creatively. Social presence, yes, social presence, absolutely. And there are certain things you need to be careful because some students, are more concerned about their privacy issues, etc. So you need to check on your institution's policies to see what you can do and what you cannot do. And certainly, you do not want to force students to do certain things that they become uncomfortable, right? So that's just common sense. But okay, so it feels like uh, the social presence is the area that we can or improve. Okay, so social presence. The community has been doing this. Again, this doesn't matter if it's online or face-to-face. Here, I'm just quoting one example of resource from the University of Virginia. Their Center of Teacher and Learning, I think. I'm so sorry. Hold on. Again, my apologies. So social presence. They are on this resource site, and I can I copy and paste? Yeah. So if you go there, it gave you some example of how you can do certain things and adopt certain practices so that students feel their peers, they can trust each other, and this is a learning community. So you want to provide a safe environment, either in your class, one class, or either in a cohort of students taking quite a few classes together, or if in the entire certificate or program. They still should be able to feel safe to express their emotions, how they feel about certain topics. But again, you as instructional designer or faculty, you of course need to set up the parameter first, right? You need to have certain policies on how to communicate. That you need to do. But in doing that, you want to provide us a safe environment. And you want students to be able to, be peer or critique each other's work in a positive, constructive way. Even if you are talking about a certain topic, students do not agree, you want to make sure they understand that they need to agree on the disagreement, right? So this is just a basic example. We are all doing this, but the community has curated such resources that you don't have to invent the wheel. You just try it and try a few things, and if it's working for you, for your students, continue using them. If not, you can say, well, this does not work for me right now. Let's try something else. So this is really, social presence is really make students comfortable, and you facilitate the active learning community. Okay, you are the faculty, you are the content expert, but you are also a model of lifelong learning. So I tell you, I used to teach, and when I told my students, this is new to me, I'm going to learn together with you. Can you help me learning? And the students actually pay more respect to you. They understand all the new technology, all the new information, data coming out every day, right? Nobody can keep up. But if we help each other learn together, then it is a truly learning community. Okay, so I'm moving it to cognitive presence. You have been doing this all along again, but there are certain resources, role play and peer reviews and students-led discussions. We are all doing this. So just be mindful that something somebody else is doing does not necessarily mean it's going to work in your class or in a specific subject that you teach, right? But the resource is really there. And earlier there is a comment of, okay, 10 minutes left, great. Earlier there is a comment saying, students still prefer face-to-face. Sure, absolutely. If we can, we of course want to give them this opportunity, in-person opportunity. So, but there's so much resource out there. Okay, the last one is teaching presence. And we mentioned over the past few years, we have been teaching hybrid remote teaching. So all of us, all faculty, instructional designers, we have learned some things working, some things not working, how to connect. So we need to make the class that we're teaching or we're designing our own, so that students, come to your class, they truly have the connection with you as the instructor, as their professor. So again, we don't have time to go through all of this, but I'm happy to share those links. I'm happy to share my entire PowerPoint if you want. So, and last, let's look at it. It's amazing how everything really aligns up. We talked about interaction, right? Learner to learner interaction. In course design, that's important. Learner to instructor, you give feedback, and students can, come to you, and the learner to content. And if you look at the right side, if you find a way to establish your social presence, you are engaged students with students. You are given this opportunity, you are creating this environment for learners to interact each other, or the other way around. Okay, so these two really support each other. And when you are designing your activities, when you're doing assignment, etc., you are giving opportunity for students to interact with the content by establishing the cognitive presence. Again, we should focus on, after the basic are taken care of, we need to teach students more higher level cognitive skills, critical thinking, synthesize, creating or building, analyzing, those kind of things. Not just stayed on, trying to memorize everything and, so. And the last one, teaching presence. Again, we said that we want to engage the students. You are the professor, you are the instructor in the course. So by establishing your teaching presence, you are given the opportunity, enable the interaction between the students and you. Okay, so these two diagrams really, you can put them together and they match perfectly. It's just the different way that you look at it. So I hope this is helpful if you're instructional designers or if you are a faculty teacher. Okay, so the last few slides are just quick some resources. At QM, we are focused on students learning. So each year we give award to make a difference for our students award. And then we have institutions in Saudi Arabia, in Mexico, in Vietnam. So 2024, perhaps Pretoria University. How about that? That would be great, right? So yes. So time for Q&A. Yes. Dr. Ingela said yes. Okay, some resources, and I'm going to open the next a few minutes for Q&A. And here's my email, ygao, yapingao, ygao@qualitymatter.org. If anything you need, just send me a quick email. I will send. Okay, Q&A. If you have the ability to open up your mic, go ahead. Or if you feel more comfortable, type in the chat. Please go ahead.
As they get their mics ready, thank you so much, Yaping, for this session. I think something that a takeaway maybe for me, especially now as you spoke about the student-to-student interaction, student to facilitator, and the student to the content, is I find that in the online environment, it's actually something that we are able to monitor better, I think, and improve better as well. Sometimes in the contact environment, students really get lost, and it's difficult to see whether they are engaging on these three levels. So that's something that I really like about the online learning. Are there any questions perhaps from our audience members for Yaping, or comments after this wonderful workshop?
Well, thank you again so much for taking the time to join me. And again, I want to share my real deep appreciation for Dr. Gina and her team at FODES every year. I truly look forward to this, and I enjoy interacting and engaging with you all. And thank you for all of those who contribute on the chat and that, make this 1 hour time even more meaningful. And again, I want to thank you. And there will be 2 QM workshops in the final context draw. So go there and you will find those workshops really very helpful for you too. So, thank you so much.
I can definitely testify to that.
Amanda. Yeah.